1. You hear a girl complaining about a problem she has had at school.
Did you manage to hand in your essay on time?
Not quite. I know we needed to have it finished by 9 o'clock this morning, but I'm always bad at meeting deadlines. Last night, I went to bed just before I'd finished everything, and I thought I could wake up early and complete it this morning. Unfortunately, it took longer than I thought, and I ended up handing it in 5 minutes late. Apparently, my score might be capped at 40%, meaning that this would be the highest mark I could get, even if my work was really good. I hope my teacher isn't too strict about the time.
2. You hear a boy admitting he copied his friend's work.
Have you ever copied another student's work?
If I'm honest, I have. I'm not proud of it, and I didn't get away with it, so I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It was an essay, and I just wasn't interested in the topic. I just wanted to do enough to get a pass, and I kept on putting it off. A friend of mine helped me by showing me her work, and I just thought I'd copy her. Big mistake. My teacher asked me a few questions about it after she handed it back to me, and within a few minutes, it became obvious I hadn't researched the topic and that this wasn't my work.
Oh dear.
3. You hear a girl talking about her preference for coursework over exams.
What's more effective, taking exams or doing coursework? Who'd like to answer?
For me, it has to be coursework. When you sit an exam, there are all sorts of other factors involved, not just how well you know the subject. Different learners respond differently to stressful situations, and an exam is stressful. For those who suffer from anxiety or can't deal with pressure, well, it's difficult for them to live up to their potential ability. Coursework is fairer and allows students to demonstrate their talents. It's not just a memory test.
4. You hear a boy talking about learning a new language.
Are you thinking of learning a new language?
Perhaps next year. I think it's a really good way to improve your job prospects. If I could speak more than 3 languages, I'm sure I'd be able to find a great job in the future. I always like taking on new challenges, no matter how difficult they are. Some experts have pointed out that there's a link between intelligence and ability to learn new languages. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I know it could be good for me to learn another language while I'm at school.
5. You hear a girl talking to her father about choosing a future course.
So, Dad, what course do you think I should study next year at college?
Well, that's completely up to you. You should definitely choose something you're interested in, but there are other things to consider.
Such as?
Look at the course requirements. What do you need to do to get admission onto the course? And what will you need to do when you're on the actual course? The last thing you want is to drop out after just a few months and have to start again somewhere else.
6. You hear a boy talking to a friend about his favourite subject at school.
What's your favourite subject at school?
I'd say it has to be science. I really enjoy it when we have to solve problems that the teacher gives us. Last week, we had to design something out of paper that could hold 10 kilograms. The key was to think about what shapes were the strongest. I had researched this a lot the week before, and I created tubes out of paper, and these turned out to be the best structures to use for this exercise. Next week, we need to design something that stops an egg breaking when we drop it.
7. You hear a girl talking about why students should have to do homework.
Should school children really have to do homework?
Well, it's a good way to check students have understood what they were taught in class. You can catch up with anything you didn't do in class, and you have a bit more time to really understand the main teaching points. Also, the feedback you get when your homework is handed back can be really valuable. It can help you to get through the course and end up with a higher mark than you would have got otherwise.
8. You hear a boy talking about doing group projects at school.
Do you like doing group projects?
In general, yes, but it does depend on who you're working with. Group work allows you to learn from each other and share the workload evenly. It's something I really enjoy doing most of the time, but sometimes people can try to get away with not putting in as much effort as other members of the group do. They try to get out of doing the tasks they've been allocated, or they just make excuses for why they haven't done what was asked of them. That can be really annoying.